global protests targeting Tesla. Demonstrators gathering around the world and from coast to coast in the U.S. for so-called Tesla takedowns, outraged by Elon Musk and Doge's massive cuts to the federal workforce.
The growing backlash against Tesla CEO Elon Musk. Demonstrations have taken place near Tesla showrooms as Musk's political profile has grown.
In just a few short months, more than 46,000 Cybertrucks were recalled in the U.S. due to a major safety issue. The vehicle's stainless steel trim panels, which are essential for its unique appearance, were attached using adhesive rather than the more secure method of bolts. The problem became apparent when high-speed tests revealed that at 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.6 seconds, these panels could detach at high speeds and pose a significant safety hazard. The Cybertruck, one of Tesla's most anticipated vehicles, was meant to be a game-changer in the automotive industry. With its rugged exterior and bold, futuristic design, it quickly became a symbol of innovation. Musk himself promised that this electric truck would redefine the market and serve as the bridge between Tesla's luxury cars and a new, eco-friendly future for transportation. However, the reality has been far less glamorous. This is more than just a technical flaw. It's a reflection of a much larger issue at Tesla, a rush to simplify production at the expense of safety. By choosing to use glue rather than bolts, Tesla aimed to cut down on manufacturing costs and speed up production, but the result was catastrophic. These safety concerns are not something that can be brushed aside easily. Loose trim panels could turn into high-speed projectiles, potentially causing fatal accidents. It's a PR disaster for a company that prides itself on pioneering the future of mobility. The Cybertruck recall is not just a US-specific issue. Tesla has serious global implications to consider as well, especially with the vehicle's international rollout. Tesla's troubles don't end with safety recalls. The Cybertruck's design is causing significant issues across the Atlantic, where the vehicle faces legal obstacles and resistance from European regulators. The United Kingdom, a market that Tesla had once targeted as a key part of its expansion strategy, became the first country to impound a Cybertruck in January 2025. The reason? A lack of a certificate of conformity, which is a legal requirement for all vehicles sold in the UK to meet certain safety standards. One of the major issues is the sharp edges of the Cybertruck's body. UK law mandates that all vehicle edges be rounded to at least 3.2 millimeters in order to reduce the risk of injury to pedestrians in the event of a collision. The Cybertruck, with its angular, razor-sharp exterior, doesn't meet this standard. It has been deemed too dangerous for urban environments, especially in dense cities where pedestrians are at constant risk. Beyond safety, the Cybertruck's size is another barrier to entry. The vehicle is over 2.2 meters wide and weighs nearly 3.2 tons, size specifications that make it unfit for many of Europe's narrow streets and complex road systems. Cities in Europe, particularly in the UK and Ireland, were designed around smaller, more compact vehicles, and the Cybertruck's massive size simply doesn't fit into this urban environment. In Ireland, the situation is even more complicated. Not only are the streets too narrow for a vehicle of the Cybertruck's size, but Irish law also restricts drivers of vehicles weighing more than 3.5 tons to those with a Category C1 license. The Cybertruck's weight, which is dangerously close to the limit, raises concerns that it might not be road legal in the country unless it undergoes significant modifications. Additionally, the sharp edges and safety concerns have made it nearly impossible to navigate through Ireland's small towns and rural roads. All in all, Tesla's dream of conquering the European market with the Cybertruck is facing significant resistance from lawmakers who are prioritizing pedestrian safety and traffic regulations over cutting-edge design. The world's largest electric vehicle market, China, was once considered the golden ticket for Tesla's future. With its booming demand for EVs, China's market represents a potential massive profit for any automaker. However, Tesla's expansion plans in China have been thwarted before they even got off the ground. It's not that the Cybertruck was outright banned in China. Rather, it faces an insurmountable roadblock due to its design flaws. China's strict pedestrian safety laws mandate that all vehicles must be designed in such a way that they minimize risk to pedestrians in the event of a collision. The Cybertruck's sharp edges combined with its massive size, violate these laws outright, making it nearly impossible to pass safety inspections. This isn't just a regulatory issue. It's a complete misalignment between Tesla's design philosophy and the demands of the world's largest automotive market. China has long been a leader in setting strict safety standards, and the Cybertruck's angular design simply doesn't fit within those parameters. The company's failure to anticipate these cultural and legal differences has left Tesla's Chinese prospects in limbo. Tesla's stiff exoskeleton, one of the vehicle's selling points, has also raised concerns in China. The rigid body of the truck doesn't absorb impact in the same way that traditional cars do, meaning that in the event of a collision, the full force of the crash is transferred directly to the object it strikes, rather than being absorbed by the car's frame. This makes it dangerous to pedestrians and other road users, particularly in a country where safety is paramount. While Tesla's global expansion is being throttled by regulatory issues, the internal crisis has been exacerbated by Elon Musk's controversial political actions. Once celebrated as a tech visionary, Musk's political leanings and outspoken views have alienated a large portion of the American public and global consumers. Musk's approval rating in 2017 stood at an impressive +24. However, by early 2025, that rating had plummeted to -18. A dramatic drop that has shocked both fans and critics alike. So what happened? The turning point came in 2025, during a speech at the CPAC conference, where Musk famously wielded a chainsaw on stage, symbolizing his desire to cut down bureaucratic waste in the US government. He lambasted federal workers, calling them ineffective and underpaid. While his message was aimed at government inefficiency, it was the delivery that caused an uproar. Musk was seen as out of touch with the very people he claimed to support. Then came the Fox News controversy. Just a few minutes into his speech, Fox News cut the live broadcast, which was a stunning move from a network that had been an ally of Musk and his politics. Musk's reputation, once that of a nonpartisan innovator, was rapidly becoming that of a polarizing figure. This was just the start. Musk's involvement in controversial political issues, including public support for figures like Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni and opposing EU environmental regulations, has made him a lightning rod for criticism. His refusal to remain apolitical has put him at odds with both his American and European audiences. In the US, Tesla's sales are plummeting. 2024 saw a 5% drop in US registrations for Tesla vehicles, and the downward trend continued into 2025, with a further 10% decline by the end of Q1. This is a devastating blow for the company, especially when considering its early dominance in the American electric vehicle market. What's behind this decline? A key factor is the shift in Musk's political affiliations. While Republicans represent only about 20% of EV buyers in the US, Musk has increasingly aligned himself with right-wing politics, which has alienated independent and moderate consumers. These buyers, who once saw Tesla as an apolitical symbol of innovation, now see the brand as tainted by Musk's increasingly partisan stance. Musk's focus on political partisanship has left Tesla's marketing at a crossroads. The brand was once admired by consumers of all political stripes for its commitment to innovation and sustainability. However, by diving into political waters, Musk has driven away a significant portion of his once diverse customer base, jeopardizing Tesla's market share in the US. While Musk's politics are damaging Tesla in the US, the company is also facing growing resistance in Europe. In January 2025, Tesla's sales in Europe saw a catastrophic 45% decline. This dramatic drop has left many wondering if the company can recover in a market where Volkswagen, Renault, and Chinese EV manufacturers are gaining ground. What's behind this crash? The answer lies in the growing disconnect between Musk's politics and European values. Tesla's image as a green tech leader has been tarnished by Musk's open criticism of European environmental policies and his alliances with right-wing politicians like Italy's Meloni and Hungary's Viktor Orban. A recent survey in the UK revealed that 59% of EV buyers would refuse to buy a Tesla because they did not want to be associated with Elon Musk's political views. Similarly, Germany and France, two of the biggest EV markets in Europe, have seen a shift in consumer preference away from Tesla. The brand's market share is shrinking, while traditional European automakers like Volkswagen and new Chinese entrants are gaining significant traction. As the first quarter of 2025 drew to a close, Tesla found itself navigating a series of challenges that threatened its position in the global automotive market. The company's once unassailable lead in the electric vehicle (EV) sector was now under siege from multiple fronts. Analysts projected that Tesla's first quarter deliveries would fall short of expectations, with estimates around 373,000 vehicles, significantly below previous forecasts. This shortfall was attributed to several factors, including intensifying competition from established automakers and emerging EV manufacturers, particularly in key markets like China and Europe. Companies such as BYD reported robust sales, highlighting Tesla's increasing vulnerability to competitors. The situation was further exacerbated by a wave of protests and acts of vandalism targeting Tesla properties worldwide. Demonstrations erupted outside Tesla dealerships in cities like Palo Alto, Stockholm, and Berlin, with protesters voicing opposition to CEO Elon Musk's political affiliations and actions. In Loveland, Colorado, an individual was charged with throwing a firebomb at a Tesla dealership, marking one of the more extreme incidents. These acts of vandalism were not isolated. In early March, a Tesla dealership in Tasmania was defaced with graffiti labeling Musk a Nazi, reflecting the global nature of the dissent. The frequency and spread of these incidents led U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi to describe them as nothing short of domestic terrorism, underscoring the severity of the situation. The convergence of declining sales and negative publicity took a toll on Tesla's stock performance. Shares plummeted, with analysts expressing concern over the company's ability to meet delivery targets. RBC Capital Markets analyst Tom Narayan revised his first quarter delivery forecast down by 23%, citing weakened demand and the impact of public protests against Musk. Central to Tesla's woes was Musk's involvement in the U.S. Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, under President Donald Trump. His role in advocating for federal spending cuts and aligning with far-right political elements in Europe alienated a significant portion of Tesla's customer base, traditionally leaning liberal. This political entanglement not only damaged the brand's image, but also fueled the protests and vandalism targeting Tesla properties. As the quarter concluded, Tesla stood at a critical juncture. The challenges of declining sales. In the first major shock to the U.S., Canada's Ontario, the country's largest industrial province, has decided to slap a 25% tariff on electricity exports to the United States. At first glance, this may seem like a minor economic squabble, but the reality is much more severe. The U.S. has long relied on Canadian energy resources, particularly electricity, oil, and liquefied natural gas, LNG, making this move a direct challenge to the economic stability of its neighbor. The figures are staggering. Canada provides the U.S. with more than half of its crude oil imports, valued at over $70 billion annually. But that's not all. Canada's role in the U.S. energy market extends far beyond oil. During the winter months, many U.S. states rely heavily on Canadian LNG to meet their energy demands. If Ottawa decides to cut off these exports, it could lead to power shortages and blackouts in regions across the U.S., particularly in states that have not invested heavily in local energy production. This tariff isn't just a symbolic move, it's a direct power play. Canada's control over critical energy resources is its strongest leverage in this escalating trade war. And Ottawa has made it clear, if Washington continues with its trade war, Canada will not hesitate to use its energy resources as a weapon. The message is simple: play nice, or the lights could go out. The automotive industry is another front in this growing economic conflict. Canada has long been a critical supplier of auto parts and finished vehicles to the U.S. In 2024 alone, Canada exported over $58 billion worth of cars and parts to the U.S., making it a key player in the North American automotive sector. However, After Trump's 25% tariff on imported cars, Canada retaliated swiftly, and the repercussions are already being felt. One of the first retaliations